beauties, welcome back to my YouTube channel. I have picked up the latest eyeshadow palette from Huda Beauty, the Icy Nude palette, that is a combination of matte and sparkle shade. It's called to be a modern wearable palette packed with matte eyeshadow in shades of nude, brown, gray and pink, contrasting again icy and sparkly pink and silver, a multi-chromatic, white and platinum biodegradable glitter eye topper for that extra attitude. And honestly, I couldn't agree more. Apparently, this is her last 18 shade eyeshadow palette. So an eyeshadow palette as big as this. She claimed, or the team of Huda Beauty claimed, that this is the last palette of this format. I am not sure I believe it, because I think there is definitely a place and a want on the market for big eyeshadow palettes. And if it's the last one, well, that's really sad, because this is, in my opinion, an absolutely stunning palette. All the shades are gorgeous. So I have created this look with the eyeshadow palette. So after the review, we'll go on and I will show you exactly step by step how I created this look. But for now, let's look closer at the palette. So you've got, as I mentioned, a mix of nude, brown, gray and pink. They're either matte or shimmer and topper shade. They're all that powdery to cream kind of formula. And if I am not mistaken, it is made in Italy. I don't think it is written, yeah, made in Italy. I feel like everyone's going to that same manufacturing plant for the eyeshadow, because I feel like there's a big trend going on where they're all powdery, but closer to be a cream texture. And it feels like they're all going to Italy. So there is something going on in Italy. But you know what? I'm really happy because I love the formula. Obviously, I know some of you will say, and I can hear it already, that is just another nude palette with, you know, some glitter, some matte shade. I agree. It's again another nude palette, but I think this is an amazing nude palette. Don't get me wrong. She came last year with that creamy palette where these shades are very similar, but this is a cream palette, and in my opinion, this is far, far, far away to be as good as this current Icy Nude palette. I just love it, and you can look at other brands and you might find it similar. I know Vive has a palette with gray tone that is very similar to this, Natasha Denona as well. But if we're looking just at Huda Beauty, she does not have a palette like this, and it was missing from her collection. I really like how wearable the palette is. The shades are just stunning and the payoff is brilliant. Every shade is quite bold. You can build up the product. I mean, look at this look. It is a really nice eyeshadow palette. I think you can create some very easy everyday eye look. Obviously, I went for something a little bit more elaborate because I want to use as many shades as possible, because I want to show you guys how to create a little bit more of just a one eyeshadow color eye look. But it is a really nice and versatile palette. So I did off camera the swatch of the 18 shade on my arm, and as you can see, it is taken all of my arm length to do the 18 shades. So these two are the last one in the palette because I was literally running out of space on my arm. And you can see they are very nude shade, and they're all a mix of, as she mentioned on the box, gray, brown and pink nude shade. The metallic, the glitter ones are really, really glittery, and they feel extra creamy. So that means they're not just going to be flaking away, and once you apply it on your eye, there's nothing left and it's all on the brush. It's actually the other way around, which is a super great thing for a palette with a lot of sparkle like this. So if you take a closer look, and you can already see the texture and the formula on my arm, there is no creasing and no peeling. Even if I have hair a little bit here, it is still a really good formula, and it just goes really nicely onto the skin. And also, as we are approaching the holiday season, I think this came out just at the right time. It's clearly a winter palette, but obviously because it's more of a cool tone palette, I would say. It's neutral, but I feel like you can create makeup looks that are a little bit more cool than warm, in my opinion. It is really made for winter and spring. You can use that all year around, but I feel like it's a little bit more towards winter, or I'm just being influenced and biased because we are currently heading to winter. Let's see if I use it as much in the summertime. I'm not sure I will. Needless to say, this is a stunning palette. I know some people will disagree, and that's absolutely fine. We're not here to all agree on the same thing. I have to say, even if you think that this is not groundbreaking and there's a lot of the nude palettes already out on the market, I think this is a stunning palette because of the formula. The shades are really bold, they're pigmented. You can build them really easily, and it's a product that will last. And for me, when I go and buy an eyeshadow palette, I want something that when I put it on in the morning, I know it's going to be lasting the whole day. I don't have to touch it. I don't have to bring it with me. It's not going to crease, drop under my eyes. It's there, it stays the whole day. And for me, this is exactly what this palette is about. It's great shade, it's a great formula. Everything for me is good with this palette. Now that I've told you and sold you this palette, because I know some of you are now hooked and you absolutely want it, let's go and see how I've created this look. Now that we have reviewed the palette, let's create a super look that you guys can recreate at home. Something easy. So I'm thinking I'm going to start with this shade here, the pink here at the bottom. And I'm going to place the shade in the center of my eye, just on the mobile eyelid. Ooh, I love how, so it's completely matte, obviously. And it's quite opaque. I really like this. And they're not crumbly, there's barely nothing falling on my cheek under, which is a really good thing. That's usually a sign that the eyeshadow product will last long and it's not going to be creasing either. Now I'm gonna go with the shade here at the top called High Life, this one here. And I'm gonna place it on the inner corner and outer corner. So I've got the same brush clean. And I'm gonna start on the inner corner. Well, that is a really nice shade. Just like so, and I'm gonna do the same thing here. So the trick is really to keep the center of your mobile eyelid with the very light shade. Obviously, you can always touch it up afterwards. So same thing on this side. This is really nice, guys. For my crease, I'm gonna go with the shade here, the Faux Fur. So it's kind of a deeper purple shade. And I'm gonna start on this side and really just come in quite high on the crease. Now for under my eyes, I'm going to use the shade Poised. I'm just gonna come here under and create a nice shadow. Now I need a little bit of sparkles. I'm going to use the shade Platinum. I'm going to use it here. Just right in the inner corner. Ooh, it is gorgeous. Same thing on this side. And as a final touch, I'm going to use the shade Ice Out. This. And just add a little bit here in the middle, where we've had the lighter shade. So this is the final look. I really like the palette. I was a bit skeptical at the beginning because I just thought, another nude palette. Really liking the palette, the fact that you have a mix of a lot of shade. You've got some brown, gray, pink, kind of nude, beige, gold, and a really nice topper, platinum topper. It's a very versatile and wearable palette, even though at the first glance you might think, oh, you know, it's very sparkly, but you know what? I think you can create some stunning look and something that you can wear on a daily basis very easily. The formula is stunning. There's absolutely nothing creasing, nothing crumbling, and the color, the payoff is really good. This is a stunning palette. It might be her best palette so far. I hope you enjoyed watching today's video. Let me know down below in the comments what you guys think. Did you buy the palette? Because it came out a few weeks ago already. Yeah, so let me know what you guys think. I will list, as usual, all the product that I am wearing in the description. If you're new here, don't forget to hit the subscribe button. And a big thanks for watching.